go back to that moment. Like, what was the turning point that shifted you fully into like theater?
Yeah. Well, they were doing a play called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and I wanted to audition. And Sister Timothy said that I couldn't audition. And I said, so why? And so she said, well, Eileen, Snow White should be of a certain ilk. And I thought, okay. But if I'm the best person for the role, maybe, why wouldn't you consider that? So she let me audition, and I got the role. And that's been kind of when I was in my earlier years, and really even in my career as a woman, as a black woman, doing the art and making art happen. That's been the journey kind of that I've had to push through.
Welcome back to the Fabe. I am your wonderful host, Brandon Morgan, and I am sitting here with the illustrious, the dear, the magnificent, somewhat like another mother to me, Miss Eileen J. Morris.
Hey,
how are you doing
I'm
today?
Great. I'm so wonderful.
That is good. It's so good to have you
It's
here.
good to be
yes,
here.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I was so excited when I found out we was gonna do this. So I was like, "Yep, sign me up. I'll be there. Let's do it. Let's do it." We had enough talks anyway.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So let's just get into it. For the people who may not know you or what you are or who you are, irregardless of how great you are, just you can give your basic intro to the world and let them know who you are.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Thank you, first of all,
you are very welcome.
To the Fabe for having me here today. I appreciate all those behind the scenes as well, making this happen. It takes a village to do this kind of thing. My name is Eileen J. Morris. I'm the artistic director of the Ensemble Theatre in Houston, Texas. I hail from Chicago, Illinois, and I went to school there. I was raised Catholic all my life. And so I went to Catholic schools and practiced the Catholic faith. And really, that's how I got my start in theater, because when I was I wanted to be a nun up until 5th grade.
Okay.
I know, right? And then something happened in 5th grade where hormones started kicking in. I started wearing glasses. I don't know, I saw the world in a whole nother light. Yeah. And so then I really found a passion and a love and a way of being able to express myself in theater. And so that's how I got, started in theater. And then, they wanted to do, during that time, these Catholic institutions were doing plays that spoke to people that didn't look like me. And I wanted to make sure that I could audition and be a part of that. And that was my kind of tumultuous journey into getting into theater. Yeah.
So let's go back to that moment. Like, what was the turning point that shifted you fully into like theater?
Yeah. Well, they were doing a play called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and I wanted to audition. And Sister Timothy said that I couldn't audition. And I said, so why? And so she said, well, Eileen, Snow White should be of a certain ilk. And I thought, okay. But if I'm the best person for the role, maybe, why wouldn't you consider that? So she let me audition, and I got the role. And that's been kind of when I was in my earlier years, and really even in my career as a woman, as a black woman, doing the art and making art happen. That's been the journey kind of that I've had to push through. Yeah.
So give me a little background of how you came to be at the Ensemble Theatre, like in your genesis moment before the artistic director.
Oh, wow. Well, I went to school at Northern Illinois University, so my degree is in theater arts, and we used to do a lot of plays, even though it was not a HBCU or anything like that. We had a black theater company that did a lot of plays. So we did all the classics. So that's how I was introduced to black theater. So fast forward, when I knew that I was going to be moving to Houston, which is a second home for me because my mother and father were from Houston. So even though we lived in Illinois, we would always come to Houston to come visit our grandparents and family and all of that. And one of those times when I was visiting my sister my sister Nia Becknell, who at the time was a architect professor at University of Houston Central Campus, she said, hey, there's this guy that's out there on this street right across from where I go all the time, and he's out there building and making things. And I asked him who he was. His name is George Hawkins. And she said, and he's a theater person, and I think you should come meet him next time you're here. And that's how I started. I actually went to George, saw him. It was at 1010 2M, which is 6 blocks from this space. And I asked him about, volunteering, because I knew that volunteerism is a passion of my family's, because we were ingrained with volunteering, being a part of the community, making sure that we were being of service. And so I said, well, let me volunteer at the Ensemble Theatre. And he, of course, needed somebody to do that. And I always say that that George saw things in me that I didn't see in myself. And so he let me come and volunteer. So I volunteered as a catch-all person to do anything at the theater, right? Just to be around. And then I started auditioning, and then he wrote a grant and got a grant for a managing director. And I became his managing director after that. So I was really the managing director before I was, moved into the position I am now.
So to fast forward through that, like, what does that full circle moment feel like? Like, I mean, to even know that you're sitting here in this year, from where you started at the ensemble, and now you are as accomplished as you are, like, what does that full circle moment feel like? Take your time if you need to, all the time.
I mean, it just feels like, I want to say, I know it's cliche, but I just feel so blessed, and I feel it feels like heaven, because I get to do and get to be a part of and get to experience and embrace and engage myself every day in something that I absolutely live and breathe for.
Amen.
So I'm not just saying that to be I'm saying that because it really is up in me to create and to be a part of something greater than I could ever imagine. And so because of George giving me an opportunity to volunteer and be a part of it, I'm thankful every day. So it feels great. I mean, it feels like, baby.
Look, I can totally agree with you, Ali. I have definitely had some time walking around these hallways myself, like just to know that there is a place for an actor of color, like and specifically black, that there is always a place that is open, with open arms to walk through, to produce art, or just to have the community of being there. It has always been a wonderful feeling. You know how I am about the ensemble. I'm pulling up regardless.
You will.
Yeah, I surely will, because it's almost irreplaceable, and it's nothing like the energy of being here with what you created and the people who work here. You can't find that really anywhere else in the city if theater is involved, so it's just a wonderful place to be, and I appreciate what you have done, for the city and for this place specifically, and I'm just very looking forward to what is to come. What is to come.
Right.
And that's my next question. So, like, as far as aspirations go for yourself and the theater in the next steps, like what are those ideals, or what are those things that you look forward to accomplish, in time?
I have to go back a little bit for something that you said, and that was about having a place to be able to drop by or feel like your voice is being heard. And I think that's one of the most important things, because what George did when he founded the institution, the Ensemble Theatre, was to give us a platform and a place for our voices to be heard. And when you think about that, that's huge, right? Because he saw the void in this city, and he felt, okay, let me try to make sure that that people of color, that culturally specific institution, that brown and black people had a place where their voices could be heard. And for me, so it's not just about what George did and then Eileen did and all of that. It's what we build as an ensemble, the name that we are, as a community of people that help to engage and make that continue to happen. And for that, I'm grateful as well. So I think what's next going forward, first of all, we have now a new managing director, so I'm very excited about having that partner to work with from an executive leadership level that will be reporting to the board and working with the team here at the theater and working with our community. That's exciting. But most importantly, it's about continuing to make art and finding the kind of nuclear and nuances that it takes to make that art happen. We know that the Ensemble Theatre is here in this community and we do main stage plays. So that there's no doubt about that. But I think what a lot of our community doesn't realize is all of the other things that we do. And that's where we're kind of elevating the platform and the recognition and the understanding and of what it is that we do, from touring and education, because we started out as a touring and education program.
That's where I
with
started
Mr. Hawkins.
out.
That's right. We all started. I was Brother Raccoon.
I was rabbit and all kinds of animals.
Right. So you're making
Spider.
art happen, but you're learning to work as a team. You're learning to work as an ensemble. You're creating art and you're affecting lives. And when I look at that, I think, wow, that's exactly the dream and kind of stick-to-itiveness that George wanted us to take place. So our touring and education program, we're lifting that. We've been performing at the Hobby Center for the last month, and we're excited about that collaboration and what that means.
What is the name of that show?
The name of that play is Pick Me Last, and it's written by Idris Goodwin. He's out of Seattle right now. I think he's the artistic director of the Children's Theater in Seattle. And so that production and our team, Stephen Scott and the tour education team, have really been doing a great job of going out and creating these partnerships and relationships, because we believe in partnerships and collaboration. It's hugely important, which is why we're even here today. And then our Young Performers program, which continues to be, that program was started in the 80s with myself and Mrs. Lawson, because we wanted to be able to have young people involved in practicing and perfecting their craft, and then having them a platform. There's a young person that has been in the last 2 shows on the main stage.
Yes.
That's exciting
That
as
is
heck.
great. That's great.
To be able to do that. And then we do films, and we have staged readings. We do playwright workshops. So I think it's helping our community to understand that we do more than just put on main stage plays, even though that's the core and the essence of what we do.
Understood. So I'd be remiss if I would not mention that you are one of the only women to have fully directed and produced about 9 of the August Wilson 10 cycle plays. So where do you stand with that? I personally know how you feel about August Wilson, but you can graciously explain to anyone who may not understand what the relationship with the man and the words are like, and what that means to even have achieved half of that.
I absolutely love August. I just love the work, the dynamic of what he's given to us as artists, what he gives to us as audience members, how those stories speak to what I'm feeling inside. You can see your uncle, your sister, your mama, your daddy, your cousin, somebody you don't like up there on that stage. You can see a lot of people that because of how he has related and crafted this language, this kind of rhythmic journey dance that he takes us through. And I had the wonderful pleasure of knowing August and having worked with him on a couple of occasions. And he is a modest man, but he's a very intelligent man, a humble man, and one that just let his work speak to what he believed in. And so for me to be able to produce and direct and delve into this art, this poetry, so to speak, I'm honored. I'm just honored to be able to do that. now I realize, wow, I'm not. I've directed 9 shows. I'm the only woman that's done that. I got to direct all 10, so I got to do that last one, so that I could, so that the world can celebrate, because he would want that. I think August would want that. I since I knew him, I think he would say, "Okay, Eileen, you better go ahead on, girl."
Exactly.
And but I think it's most importantly that I was thinking about this last night, because there are several people in the play that we're currently doing, and I know we'll talk about that have done the role of Boy Willie at a certain age. I look at Lakeisha Randall on stage now, and she's playing Bernice, and I played Bernice. So, and yet I can play older roles. So it's funny how he has crafted his and positioned his plays so that you could start at a young age, like the little girl that's playing Maritha, and she'll be able to play Bernice, and then she'll be able to play Aunt Esther, because of the journey that he's allowed these actors to take with these characters.
I've never really looked at it like that.
That's a beautiful thing.
I have transitioned in different roles of August Wilson, but I never really thought about it like that. And you can go from a child to an adult to an older lady, like all through 10 plays. Like, I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That truly is amazing. But yes, as you said, let's dive into your current project or show that you are directing right now. What show is that happening?
Well, we're sitting on the stage of the piano lesson.
Ooh, one of the best.
Pulitzer Prize winning play by Mr. August Wilson.
Yes.
And he has this play deals with legacy, and that's one of the reasons we wanted to do it this year, because our season theme at the ensemble is Legacy Alive. And what does that mean for you in your family or in your world? And this play deals all with legacy. This brother and sister are trying to figure out what they're going to do about this family heirloom and what's going to happen. But more importantly, it deals with realness, human dynamic, with the rawness of how when we allow ourselves to be exposed and vulnerable. And then now what are you going to do? But you depending on someone else. So piano lesson is one of the plays, that I needed to do, and it's the 9th. And I'm just, glad that we're here and able to produce this play here at the theater. Yeah.
I'm grateful to see. I can say I've seen it. Probably gonna see it again one more time. So get out here. When do y'all close?
We close at the end of February.
The end of February.
Right.
All right. So you got a couple more weeks to catch it. So catch it soon. So moving on, I would like to touch on the ensemble's involvement. As you said, you're working on community and bringing the community together. So in that aspect, how has the ensemble been involved with the Fade to Black era of life? I know that there are a lot of correlations between what Fade to Black is and what the ensemble is, and how those two things intersect is seamlessly, being it's all African American centric mostly, So I would like you to, just touch on that and what is to come in the future with the partnership of the ensemble and Fade to Black.
Well, we're grateful for that. I mean, when the founder, Denise O'Neill, first was going to be starting Fade to Black, we had many, many conversations about just the business and how to do it and what was, what it took to take that journey. And I was blessed that we were able to have those conversations, because each one learns from each other, right? And so we got a chance to really share about things, her dreams and the dreams that I knew from the Ensemble Theatre, and how you make all of that work. So the Ensemble Theatre has been, over the years, a part of Fade to Black through sharing artists, actually having conversations, about the business, of various things. We've been, blessed to share some things in that way. But I think most importantly, it's about being able to just create and be of support and be of partners in the fact that we're all doing this Black theater. That's what's important to me, is that there's enough for everybody to do, and there's enough for us all to find different ways to be able to indulge in that. Most of the things that are being done from Fade to Black are more shorter pieces of work, whereas we're doing we're doing classics and contemporaries and all that on a more 2-hour show kind of thing, or whatever is produced in that way. But in the future, what we're doing for the upcoming festival that's taking place, first of all, we're excited about
2025.
So excited about
man.
2025 and what that's going to be for this city and for artists.
It's going to be like a theater Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a theater Super Bowl.
That's a great way to put it,
I know,
because
I'm ready, y'all, and I love football, so might as well.
So a theater Super Bowl for artists, and the ensemble is going to be working hand in hand with Shabaka Enterprises and Fade to Black in the actual playwriting aspect of it, where the playwrights will be sending in their scripts, and those are going to be submissions, and then we'll be winding, kind of filtering those down so that we can select out of the ones that are left, and then we'll actually be producing one or two over here in some way, either through stage readings, or we're still working all of those logistics out. But the idea that we're here to be a part of it, and we're collaborating on this partnership, is hugely important and viable and needed for the city.
I agree. I'm super excited for this idea and thing to come to pass. Like I wish I could fast track through 1 year, but you gotta take your steps
Things
along
do how
the way.
they're supposed to do. You can't be upsetting the universe and trying to just fast forward. You just want to go right to the end.
I mean,
the journey. You love rehearsal, don't you? I do. Okay, so the process of rehearsal is important.
You can't skip it even if you wanted to. It's almost inevitable.
No, you can't.
I'm not gonna be able to wake up and it's gonna be 2025 tomorrow. No. So I just gotta walk through it anyways.
That's right.
So thing we like to do here on the podcast is what we call Fade It Forward, right? So it's just an idea or nugget of advice, or a piece of golden nugget of advice that you can impart to anyone, or a generalized people, or a specific idea, just anything. I mean, it can be constructive, it can be just a thought or an idea, but whatever that is, just the idea of just fading that information forward to someone else, So whatever you have, you can just give it to that camera right there and give it to the people and give them your little nuggets. I'm sure it's going to be good. I might listen myself.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're going to listen.
Yeah, I'm getting better.
I don't know. I think, for me, I think about how I just don't take no for an answer. Just, the stick-to-itiveness that one needs to live, not just be an artist, but just to live, is hugely important. And I'm going to share a little story. So I wanted to have Ntozake Shange to direct for Colored Girls here at the Ensemble Theatre. And everybody was like, oh, you're not going to get Ntozake Shange. She's Ntozake Shange. How are you going to get Ntozake Shange? And I thought, she is Ntozake Shange, but I'm going to just ask her. All she can do is say no. So I asked Zaki, I said, Zaki, I really would love, and at the time she was here she was a playwright in residence here at the ensemble, and she was teaching at University of Houston Central Campus. And so I said, I'm going to ask her. And so I said, Zaki, I would love for you to direct Colored Girls. Oh, Eileen, I'm done Colored Girls. I don't want. She said, but I'll do it. I'll do it if you let me direct another show that's not mine. And so I was like, why would Zaki want to direct another show that's not hers? Well, she was a new director. So she wanted to, embrace her skills and, figure out what was going on. And so because of that, she said yes to what I needed her to do, because there was something else that she wanted to be able to consider and kind of build upon. So I always say, don't take no for an answer. Know that you got to have a lot of stick-to-itiveness, and make your 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plan, baby.
You know, Eileen, I appreciate that because I need to go and sit down and write out my little 4-year plan or something.
That's what I still do plans. I journal all the time.
I need to go write mine out.
You got to figure that out.
Well, thank you. This has been just absolutely wonderful, as you know.
Oh, I appreciate it.
I'm just so fulfilled right now. You know, anytime I get to sit down and talk to you or mess with you, you know, I'm gonna be good today at this moment.
Okay, thank you.
But for now, I will be good for now. But I can honestly say that I cherish you and I love you so much, and what you have personally done for me in my career or have helped me with, whether things have progressed or not. I'm just thankful that you are just a willing participant in the travels of Brandon, you know. And I'm
because travels of Brandon is great, baby.
Man, I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. Look, just tell everybody, hey, y'all keep hiring me. I am still working. Everybody, tell everybody you know, wherever they are, I want to work. Thank you.
You do. You're a working artist. You enjoy the work, and that's the beauty of it.
I do.
And that shows. And I think that stick-to-itiveness, that's not taking no. That's moving yourself in the vein that you need to move in. I mean, people, you could go somewhere else and work, but why wouldn't you want to work in a city that you love and that's home and still be able to work? Whatever that journey is for you, it's invaluable.
I try to make sure that, like, I'm like, if I'm gonna be here in this place, and I know I want to work, I know that I need to be working as much as possible. Like, even if I was somewhere else, but of course I'm from Houston. You know, I love this city to death.
Yes, you do.
I do see like an increase of the city coming, like as far as the arts and film also, like there's something great coming, and I'm glad that I'm going to be here and be in the mix of it,
so you can be
at the forefront of it. Yeah,
that's right.
I'm gonna be at the forefront of it. But yes, thank you, Eileen. Thank you so much,
Brandon.
so much.
You know,
so
I love
much,
you,
so
Sonny.
much.
I appreciate
Thank you.
everything.
I can't say thank you enough. Yeah. So yeah, once again, this is Brandon Morgan in the Fade. I'm sitting here with the wonderful Miss Eileen J. Morris, and we thank y'all for tuning in, and we will catch you next time. Corey, I'm done. Shut it down.